Yes, sir. I am. Yes, sir, I'm ready. You ready? Yeah.
My name's Isaiah. I'll be doing a pre-trip inspection on this vehicle. I will check my clearance lights, my parking lights, my right-left turn signals, and my full-way flashers. They are all properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They are amber in color and functioning properly. I will check my headlights / running lights. They are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. They are clean, clear, not clouded over, and they function on both high and low beam. I will check underneath my vehicle for low-hanging wires, lines, hoses, and leaks. And I will check my vehicle's sitting position. If it leans to one side or the other, it's an indication of a bad tire or suspension problem. I will do a general overview of my lines, wires, and hoses. My lines are properly mounted and secured, not cut, torn, or frayed. My hoses are properly mounted and secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and no leaks. I will check my coolant reservoir, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. The cap is on tight, and it is filled to the operating level. I will check my coolant hose, properly mounted and secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no leaks. I will check my water pump. It is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no loose or missing bolts, it's not leaking, it is belt driven. We'll go over to the driver's side. I will do a general overview of my lines, wires, and hoses. My lines are properly mounted and secured, not cut, torn, or frayed. My hoses are properly mounted and secured, no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and no leaks. I will check my alternator. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no loose or missing bolts. It is belt driven. I will check my alternator belt. Properly mounted and secured, not cut, torn, or frayed, and when pressed in the center, cannot move more than 3/4 of an inch. I will check my air compressor. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no loose or missing bolts, it's not leaking. I will check my power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The cap is on tight, it's not leaking, and it's filled to the operating level. I will check my hose. It's properly mounted and secured. No abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and it's not leaking. I will check my power steering pump. It is gear driven. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's not leaking. I will check my oil cap and dipstick. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The cap is on tight. They're not leaking. The way that I would check my oil, I would remove the dipstick, wipe it clean, reinsert it, remove it again. It should be between add and full. I would check my steering rod, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. My universal joint is properly greased. My gearbox is properly mounted and secured to the frame, not cracked, bent, or broken. No loose or missing bolts, it's not leaking. I will check my pitman arm, drag link, control arm, tie rod, and tie rod end. They are all properly mounted and secured with castle nuts and cotter pins. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. I will check my leaf hangers, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. I will check my leaf springs. They are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, broken, misaligned, or missing. They can have no illegal welds. I will check my U-bolts, They are properly mounted and secured to the chassis with nuts on the bottom, not cracked, bent, or broken. I will check my shock absorber, properly mounted and secured on the top and the bottom with a bolt, not cracked, bent, or broken. The bushings are both intact and it's not leaking. I will check my airline, properly mounted and secured, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, is not leaking. I will check my brake chamber. It's properly mounted and secured with a bang clamp and a nut, not cracked, bent, or broken, it's not leaking. I will check my slack adjuster and push rod. They are both properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The way that I would check my brakes, I would chalk my wheels, release my brakes on the inside. It should not move more than 1 inch or I need my brakes adjusted. I would check my brake shoes, brake lining, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no oil or grease, and they cannot be worn dangerously thin, less than 1/4 of an inch. I would check my brake drum, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no oil or grease. I would check my inner rim. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds. My inner tire has no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. My tire face is evenly worn, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. The tread depth has to be at least 4/32 deep. I will check my outer tire, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and when checked with a tire gauge, filled to the manufacturer's specification. I will check my outer rim, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no illegal welds. I will check my lug nuts. They are all present. They are tight. If they were loose, it would be evidenced by rust trails, shiny spots, or oblong holes. I will check my hub seal, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. The way that I would check the oil, I would remove this dust cap. There should be oil present. And finally, I will check my valve stem, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. The cap is on tight. That concludes my 8th pre-trip.